be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.
Hi guys, welcome to Time to Lead with RAL. I'm Abdul Malik Nazahim, and today with me as usual I have
Laksita Jan.
And I'm Ravinder Rachi.
So hi again everyone. In today's edition of Time to Lead with RAL, we are going to look at the COVID heroes and the countries which have taken excellent measures in fighting back COVID-19. And also we will be touching on cutting out negativity, as in the time like this, how we can cut out negativity in our lives. So Malik, why don't we?
Lucky. So at this moment, we also should praise this person called Captain Thomas More. So he's one of the World War II veterans, and what he did was for his 100th birthday. So a really old man, no? When you say we are 99 years old, and what he has done, he has taken this opportunity and he has made use of it to lead from the front. So what he did was, he said that he wanted to collect charity. You say collecting charity, no? So
yeah.
He wanted to raise £1,000 for these National Healthcare Service workers in the United Kingdom. So he started this fundraising campaign, and he ended up collecting around £32 million.
Wow.
So the BBC says that he collected around £32 million for his 100th birthday, and this man becomes a hero, one, because maybe he's old in age, where most of us are reluctant to make a change as youth. This person has promised the people that he will do this. He would walk around 100 times in his backyard, and also another thing about Captain Thomas More is he just had been treated for a broken hip and skin cancer. So not a lot of us know this. So
you said he was a veteran in World War II, right?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah. So 75 years after the World War II, so just a week or two ago, they commemorated the World War II ceremony, and after that we get this news. So Captain Tom, he was serving in India and Myanmar. So then it was known as Burma. So he was in those countries serving the nations, and now see what he is doing. And he has said even though he was he had a broken hip, and also he had been treated with skin cancer, he had made a promise that he'll complete 100 laps for his 100th birthday, and he was planning to raise £1,000. He said that he'll complete 100 laps, so it's £10 per lap.
Yeah. So this was covered all over the media, right?
Yeah. It has become a sensational news in the United Kingdom and all over the world, and he has become a star, a proper celebrity. He had got along with this singer called Michael Ball, and he had sung this song "You'll Never Walk Alone." So the Liverpool fans also sing that song. I hope that it's a similar song, the same song, and it had made him the oldest person ever to achieve a #1 single in the United Kingdom. So his song has gone, it has topped the charts also. So he's doing a lot of stuff, and he has got around 140,000 birthday cards for his birthday.
Wow.
This
And he
shows
truly
like,
deserves that.
yeah, like this shows like age is just a number. Like if you have the determination,
Yeah,
like you can achieve anything.
yeah. Age is definitely a number. When like, and also like when like you when I'm like reading about this person more and more, you get motivated. Like each and everything that he says and he does. Like one of the thing that he had said was, it is like really motivating. Where he said that please always remember tomorrow will be a good day. So this thing, when you just read it, please always remember tomorrow will be a good day. This thing that he said reminds us of hope. To
Yeah,
have hope that the day in front of us is always going to be better. So if we feel that we are having a bad day, we should always have hope that we can come across it. Like these days, the whole world where we feel that it's not good enough. So we should always believe.
moving on, like we are going to talk about two countries especially, like how they reacted against COVID-19. Those countries are Taiwan and New Zealand. So like for the past month, they have had 0 locally transmitted coronavirus cases, which means they don't
This is,
like they are
Taiwan,
like close. Yeah, Taiwan and New Zealand, like they are very close
the
to
countries.
eliminating. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Both the countries, they have not had new cases for the last 1
both the
month.
countries. Yeah. So when like doing research, like you can trace like 5 main takeaways from these 5 countries. Like we can like identify 5 main takeaways from like how they reacted against COVID. So the first is like they first, when the COVID threat came, they warned the public advancedly. Like, what do you think about this guy? Like, did our country do this? Like, what do you think? Like, how our response compared to these countries?
It was not that good, yeah.
Yeah, I also think that like we weren't very much confident enough to come and tell it to the public.
Like,
and
late to like
and
warn
also
public
like
about the threat.
yeah,
huge it
and
was.
also like when we got to know the news, like most of us thought that it would not be as severe as it is now, yeah.
Like I think we believe that like it was happening in China, like it's never gonna come to Sri Lanka, like we kind of
because of
believe
our
that,
weather
like,
and all, yeah.
So the second takeaway was like the both countries went to a early lockdown. So I think some countries like were late to go to a lockdown, so like that kind of increased the spread of the virus.
Yes.
I think in Sri Lanka we started locking down all the places from the 13th of March. Am I right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, not exactly, not a nationwide lockdown, yeah, from the 13th of March.
Yes.
It was curfews set in places where patients were identified.
Yeah. So basically, Sri Lanka kind of enforced curfew. Normally other countries there's no curfew. Like they are advised to stay in their homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like curfew in a country like Sri Lanka, it's more effective than advising them, right?
Yeah. And also like another example for a late lockdown would be the United States, yeah.
Yeah, like we have seen how it was, and like they're like, I think over.
That is.
I'm not sure, but I think they are closing in like 1 lakh of deaths due to corona.
Yeah.
And
I think that this is a lesson for us that we should take everything serious.
Exactly. So the third takeaway was like the testing and contact tracing. Like these two countries, Taiwan and New Zealand, like they did it has said that they have like done tests for more than 40% of like a country's population. So basically, like they have like tested like close to 50% of their population. So like identifying the like what you call the carriers of the virus is like way more effective than some other countries.
Yeah, definitely. 40% is a big number. Yeah, when it's testing, 40% of the population is like a big number.
Yes,
Exactly.
and even the cost, imagine how much they would have spent for that. That means the country was, they were ready to spend that much on healthcare and to like prevent the spread.
I think that comes down to the like strength of the healthcare system in those countries, right?
Yes.
I mean, like comparing to like those countries, actually Sri Lanka is like we really have a really good healthcare system. It's just that like I think we don't have that facilities as them. So like even though our healthcare workers are like up to like really good standards.
Yeah.
And the fourth takeover was strict travel control. So basically, like if you take Taiwan, it's like really close to China. So what they did was like when they identified the threat, they banned like travelers from Wuhan and like
Wuhan,
basically
yeah.
New Zealand, Wuhan, New Zealand also did the same. So like that kind of like limited the spreading of the virus.
Yeah, I think that is like one of the main things, like the travel restrictions. Like most of the other countries didn't have that much of travel restrictions. When
They imposed it late.
Yeah.
That was their problem. And by the time they imposed it, the people who had contracted coronavirus have come to that country. They've landed.
Yeah.
And the irony
Because
is like
Yeah.
Taiwan is like close to China, and like New Zealand is kind of isolated country, right? So like
Yeah.
there's like a really good irony about that. Like even though it's close, like it doesn't matter like it's close or not. Like it's about how your country react to that. A certain situation.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like people didn't like expect this to happen like in this scale. And when you take like the coronavirus, it like you can contract. You can spread it to like around 3 people, so one common man. Like when you take the other flus and all, you can like only spread it to one more person, additional person. So and like if you spread, like if I spread it to 3 people and it goes like those 3 people spread to 3 and another 3, it's like another 9. It goes like that. So like to 10, so like to 10 circles, it becomes like one man can spread it to 59,000 people approximately, somewhere around 50,000. So you go to the 10th power of 3 is somewhere around 50,000, I think.
Yeah.
So the final takeaway was like both these countries, like they help other countries to fight COVID-19. So basically, Taiwan distributed 17 million masks to countries like Germany, Italy, and USA, which I think is like a really great contribution, like under the circumstances.
It is a really good thing to do, and like masks have been really important these days, because they say that it spreads through droplets, Lucky. So
like the fluid, the body fluid. So it can be when you're sneezing, it can be even your saliva.
Yeah, and even sweat also, Lucky.
Yes, sweat as well.
Okay, so like it's really.
If you contract it, that's it. You're gonna like spread it. Either you like isolate yourself, or else otherwise it's like you're spreading it, and it can be like a community spread after that.
Yeah, so like it's like the responsibility of each and every single one of us.
So I watched this video from Project Nightfall. So in that, a healthcare worker, I think he's a doctor, he says that in the end, like in controlling COVID-19, it comes down to 2 facts. Those are leadership and science. So basically you have to have a good leadership to like overcome this, and you have to have a like science, which means like healthcare system healthcare workers, like to like overcome this
Yeah.
unfortunate situation. And
Yeah. That is.
interesting fact,
Yeah.
both these
Yeah.
countries are led by 2 women.
Yes.
Which is like, yeah, we normally think that when there's like a women leadership, there can be problems happening. We even doubt it.
Yes.
But this is like a very good example of how female leadership has like driven in the entire country to like curb it, as in curb the entire society from getting affected by it.
Yeah. So like, it is really good. Like Jacinda Ardern and the Taiwanese president, I think. And also like when you take German also, Angela Merkel, the chancellor, she's a woman and she's also known for doing a really good job in German.
Yeah. So speaking about her, Angela Merkel, the chancellor of Germany. So I think it was on the 11th of March that like the numbers, infected number in Italy started spiking. And that day she announced, as in she came to the public and she said that the situation is serious and we have to take it seriously. And that she was like, yeah, we will be more than 70% of our population will be infected by this. And because of that, we have to be vigilant. This is not something to be like, to play with. But we as a country have to prevent this and we'll be taking strict measures on it. And I think as a leader, you should be able to just come out. And if the situation is serious, you shouldn't just hesitate to like tell the public about it.
Yeah, like the transparency.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think the transparency it's very important.
Yeah, like when leader is like really transparent with the team or with the public, with the people who's with the leader, the people tend to trust the leader more. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you see New Zealand Prime Minister like going live on Facebook, IG, and talking to like people. So that kind of interacts with the like population, people living in the country, and like it creates that trust. Like, we can depend on like this person.
Yeah, and also like Jacinda Ardern and like the state of ministers like from the New Zealand like they coming forward and like they are willing to cut down their salaries. So those are the inspirations that you get from these people as leaders.
Exactly.
Yeah, and talking about this female leader, there's also this Iceland Prime Minister. She started offering free testing to all citizens.
Yeah.
Like I think you should be just thinking what is the next step, like what are the contingency plans we can go for. And I think like sometimes if it's a community spread, you don't know where it comes and where it goes. So something like an entire country to be tested, that is like one of the best ways to prevent it. And for that, I know most of the underdeveloped countries, they won't have the facility to do it. And because Iceland is like a developed country, they were able to do it.
Yes. And also like,
Yeah, go
on. So like also like in this situation, as the youth, either there's two things that we can do. Either we can come in front and lead and do something to the community, or else we can see the people who lead from the front and study them, see the good things that they do, see. So guys, Lucky and Ravindu, so like we've definitely seen a lot in these 2 months. Yeah, like for me, I am like almost around 50 to 55 days at home now, and I hope that you all also facing a similar situation. What are the important lessons that you all have learned through this pandemic? And also like what do you all think are the positive things that you all can take or give people who are facing the same situation?
Okay. So for me, like
Ravindra.
For me, it has been a time period of like focusing on myself. Like before quarantine, like we go to lectures every day. We like do like people go to work, like they don't have time to spend with their families and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but like this has like given the opportunity to them to like spend time with their family and like focus on themselves. Like, so
Yeah.
personally, I have been like doing a lot of online courses, like lot of
Okay.
like reading a lot of like educational
Whoa.
materials and stuff like that. So like
Always
this has been,
studying.
I think so.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I think this has been like a really good period for me to like focus on myself and my family, and like maybe like to get like things back on track. Maybe, yeah. That's like my
Yeah.
opinion.
And even I
Lucky?
think, yeah, I think I also can go with what Ravindra said. Like, it was a time for like, self-reflection. Like,
Yeah.
just like he said, I was able to like spend more time with my family. Otherwise, I leave home at around 6:15 in the morning because I have to like travel to university for 1.5 or
Yeah.
2 hours. So
Yeah.
it's always like leaving home at 6:15 and coming back around 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the evening. And
Yeah.
these like days like these are like blessings for me to like spend time with my family, to get up late. And I also started my blog. Like, I wanted to like start my own blog one day, but I
Yeah.
couldn't. And
That was really
this time
good,
I was able
Lucky,
to
the
do it.
blog.
Like
Maybe
we
like
can
we can
give
put
you
the
yeah, we can give a free
we can
shout
give
out.
the description.
Yeah, we can give a
Yeah.
free shout out.
Yeah, Lucky, yeah. Why don't you tell
Thank
tell
you.
us about the blog, Lucky, that you started? Because I read it and it was like really
Yeah,
insightful.
it
And I
was.
like felt it.
It was really good. Like actually, like
Yeah.
Thank
So like
you.
you definitely taken a
So,
new step, Lucky. Yeah.
yeah, it was my dream to like, I wanted like, when I was setting my goals for like last year, I wanted to do this, but I couldn't do it apparently, and this year I was able to, and thanks to this quarantine. I don't say like it in a bad way, but these are some positivities that could give something like adds value to your life.
Yeah.
And also adding to that, I was able to do some online courses. I still haven't completed it, but I'm glad that I enrolled to it, and I'm still learning something new. And I also started making a doormat with 2 of my old denim pants. Like, I wanted to like do something for recycling and reuse, and those things. And I think more than all of these things, this time is like the time for us to just look around and see how people are reacting to this, and as the youth, what we can do. But maybe we can like.
I think we started this on you telling about what you were writing, yeah?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us about your blog, Lucky?
So about my blog, it's just I anyway love creative writing. So the first, I mean, I've only published like one so far. I'm still writing more, and there's one more to come about being an Isaacer. Maybe I'll do it soon. Like, I'm still on it, working on it.
Okay.
So this blog, it's about my thought on this quarantine, and how it has given positivity in my life. Like, how we can see it in a positive way and not in a negative way.
Yeah.
So that is the main thing that I wanted to express through the blog. And I think
we better share it in the description below, yeah? So like maybe people could read it and get some positivity if they're feeling down, because I felt really refreshed when I read it.
Yeah, guys, like check out our description.
I hope that Ravi also felt the same.
Yeah, exactly. So guys, you can check out our description from whatever platform you are watching us. So check out our description. You'll find Lucky's blog.
I feel honored. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So like we talk about like focusing on ourselves. Like, what do you guys think about like what can we do to the society? Like we focus on ourselves. While doing that, like what can we do to the society as youth, as citizens of the country? Yeah.
Ravindra, to say upon that, like this pandemic has given us the biggest thing or the largest thing that we needed, that we didn't have. The biggest one, you can say wealth, maybe, like it's like one of the biggest wealth that you didn't have in the past, but now you have a lot of it, and that's time.
I agree.
Most of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of us have time now. It's like how we make it productive and what we are doing. And
so
I
basically
think,
what you're saying is like while like we focusing on ourselves, like it initially contributes to the well-being of the society. Is that what you're getting at?
yeah, that is because it becomes a collective, no? So like when all of us, because when you're at home and when you're studying or learning something, you refer it to someone, or you're like how we initiated this thing, because we had time and we are conveying the positives to the community, to at least one or two people who would listen to us talking. So
I think
and also
that's like a really good example, like our podcast itself.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it gives the opportunity for people to take the lead, the ownership of the things that they do. For all of them to become leaders, because Ravinder, like when what I experience or what I'm experiencing now is like most of my friends are, what do you say, they are starting YouTube what do you say, pages, and they're trying out new stuff, because like they don't fear to fail now, because they just want to try out stuff and see if they can succeed in it.
Exactly.
So
Adding to that, I even saw a post on LinkedIn saying that the number of people using LinkedIn have increased, and the number of usage, as in like inactive accounts, have become activated. And there's been so many things happening in LinkedIn. Even like people are trying to do something different. They're trying to improve themselves now. Working on self growth.
Yeah, exactly. So like I was at like LinkedIn like yesterday, and like all my like throughout my whole like the what you call the news feed, like all I can see was like people putting their like certifications, like doing like Google Garage courses, like edX courses, like they're putting like certificates of those like the like what you call the courses they completed. So it was like really refreshing for me.
And also like and also like these posts, like I think most of all of us should post it online, because it gives a positive vibe and it encourages others also to make that move. Like one example would be like what do you say, like one of the projects that we are running right now in one of our functions, and we requested the members to take part in an online course. So either they should, like we said that if they submit their certificate of completion, they get bonus points, and if they start a course, they get points. So that through that we've encouraged members to start new courses and study. So like that is like, I think that is the opportunity that when people start studying, they get interested, they want to try out a lot.
And also they can empower someone else, as in like from what they learn, maybe they can share something, just share one thing that they learned from that course, and maybe by looking at that, maybe the other person will start enrolling it. So it's like empowering another person to
to be honest, like I saw it happening. Like, so there is this university in Sweden, University of Lund, and this what do you say, this girl, like she posted a video saying that she started this course in that university. So it's an online one, a certificate course, and like so this group had a lot of people, like unknown people, like they're not directly connected or something, and like a lot of people got interested, and they asked a lot of questions on what that course was, how that university is, what do they offer, maybe I should try it out. So this is the thing that we should focus on the positive side.
And we are gifted with time to all of this.
Because time is what we all needed. Like
exactly.
Whatever the question you ask, the answer no time, I don't have time, would be act as an answer, as an excuse.
I think like you can't give that excuse of like I don't have like enough time now. Like you have to do it. You have to push it.
Unless so this is like most of the youth, but like if you're working from home, so like people who work from home, for them it might be different. So they might be able to like change their patterns of using their time effectively, and they can try out a lot of stuff too.
So with that note, it's time for us to leave as well. And I think you all will take this time to work on yourself, on self-improvement and self-development, and use this time to empower others and spread positivity. And take this time to lead. With that note, we'll be signing off. Stay tuned.
Stay safe.
Definitely, guys. Stay blessed.
Could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.